everybody, welcome back to my channel. How are you? Thanks for everybody who entered my $50 Sephora gift giveaway. The winner will be announced in a couple of hours. So if you like this look, this eyeshadow palette is the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. So if you like what you see, please stay tuned for the tutorial. Alright guys, so when I do my makeup and I'm using a extreme eyeshadow look, I like to start with my eyeshadow first and then my face. So let's go ahead and start with these brows. I am using the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in number 6, their darkest shade that they have. It's very precise to go ahead and draw in those brows. So that's what we're going to do right now. I am going to speed through this tutorial so that I don't keep you here all day. It's already a lengthy tutorial on its own. So now that I have both eyebrows done, it's time to clean those up. One eyebrow is a little longer than the other one. So with the concealer that we're using, which is the Wet n Wild cruelty-free photo focus concealer, we're going to clean those brows up so that we can kind of get them looking like sisters. I'm never able to get my eyebrows on camera to look like twins, but in real life they do look like twins when I do them. That's just me, but I do have one eyebrow that's a little bit longer than the other. So let's carry on. You want to try to get a concealer in your skin tone as well. So as you can see, one eyebrow comes in a little further into the center than the other. That's when you just take your skin concealer that matches your skin and you can go ahead and use that to kind of dull out the center so that they're not so stark and hard with the color. And just go through and clean up any little imperfections you have in between. And also this helps if you're in between waxes, razoring, or whatever you do to thin out your eyebrow or arch your eyebrows. Good enough. So now that that's complete, we're going to go ahead and prime our eyeshadow. We're going to use the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, and what this does is this helps your eyeshadow to last and adhere to your skin, and also it helps to smooth out any imperfections that you have on your eyelid. Like me, I have slight creases and wrinkling on my eyelids. So you're just going to put that on, let it warm up a little bit, and then use your finger and you're going to just go ahead and mold it in. Next, take the bristle part of your eyebrow pencil and just go ahead and comb through your lashes. That'll help to separate them. You'll need those to be as separated as possible for when you do your mascara. Next, we have an eyelash curler. I only do this sometimes, not often. If your eyelashes are already curled, then that's fine. I normally do mine just so it can open up my eye a little bit more. But like I said, this step is truly optional. Next, you're going to take your concealer. We have the Tarte Shape Tape in the color Deep. I'm going to use this to mute out the dark circles on my eyelids. This will also help give you a base to your eyeshadow that'll help your colors really pop against your skin tone. Also, it'll also smooth out any imperfections as well. What you want to do is after you pat this down onto your eyelid, you want to go ahead and keep your eye closed as much as possible. Get yourself a sponge or a brush, and you're going to apply some finishing powder on top of that just to lock the foundation in place. Keep your eye closed though. Don't worry about having too much because you're going to knock that off with a soft brush anyway. And don't worry about the color that it leaves because you're going to put color over top of that. And if it's lighter than your skin tone already, you'll be fine. Next, y'all, we have the star of this look. We have Huda Beauty Rose Gold Collection Eyeshadow Palette. Yes, yes, yes. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and I guess blow off your fallout if you got any. The first color I used is Henna. You're going to get a fluffy brush. This brush is from BH Cosmetics. This brush is like $3. I normally don't have name brand brushes, honestly. I may have a few, but the way my checking and savings is set up, I'm going to use what's available. So if I'm picking up tracks in the hair store, guess what? I'm grabbing me an eyeshadow brush too. So you're going to take henna, you're going to put it in right up slightly above your crease. Next you're going to take the color Man Eater, and you're going to get a pointy taper brush, and you're going to swirl it in, and you're going to mix it with Flamingo back and forth, and you're going to put that into the crease of your eye. Simply all blending is you're going back and forth in a windshield wiper motion. The intensity is going to come from how hard you apply and how much product you apply. So for this color, you can just go ahead and just go left to right. Next you're going to take a fluffy taper brush, because that dense taper brush wasn't giving me what I needed. And I'm still in the colors Man Eater and Flamingo. So I decided to switch to my matte 217 brush, maybe because the bristles are a little more stiffer and it's giving me a little bit more product placement. Again, you're still going in the same wiper back and forth motions, and then as you're going through to get that blended look, you're going to go in circles to diffuse the ends. The next color I'm going back into henna, and we're just going to go ahead and soften that up so that it's not so stark. And we want to kind of blow it out towards the ends. Give it that cat eye look a little bit. Some people do one eye at a time. I just do both, that way I don't have to switch back and forth or try to remember any steps that I did. Next I'm going to take the color Bossé, and you're going to get a smaller blending brush, and you're just going to put that in the outer V of your eye. Bossé is like a cool tone, light to medium brown, and what this does is going to help build intensity in your eyeshadow. Yes girl, blend honey. Next you're going to take a clean fluffy brush, blending brush, and you're just going to brush out those edges so that you can kind of get that airbrush look. And this will also help take away that stripper harsh edge that you see some strippers be walking around with. Next you go into the color Cocoa. Add that to your outer V, coming in just a smidge closer to the center in a V shape. And by outer V, I mean if you take your hand and you do the peace sign with your two fingers and you just turn it up to bring your elbow up, that right there, if you were to put your two fingers along the side of your eye, that's that V right outside the end of your lash line. Next, this step is optional. I could leave this look where it is, but I want to just, you know, amp it up. I'm trying to stick to one palette because, again, this is also my first impressions of this palette. I've never used this palette before. So normally I would probably go into my Morphe 350M palette to get me a darker brown, but I'm going to use what I got. Again, taking that same brush. I probably used only a total of 3 brushes this whole look, honestly, and you just want to make sure that it's, you know, your edges are blown out the way you want. So I'm taking that color Cocoa just a little bit to give me a little more definition in my crease, and that brush is actually a brush that I got from the hair store. So like I said, use what you got. Clean up your edges. Brush, 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 brush. Next, I'm going to take a flat brush, a flat synthetic brush, and I'm going to apply the Too Faced Shadow Glitter Glue. And this is what's going to adhere our rose gold glitter from our Huda Beauty palette. You want to put it on your hand to help warm it up, make it a little more malleable. And also what this will do, it'll help become tacky just a little bit quicker. So because my patience runs thin, I eventually give up on this brush and just use my finger, which is fine. I probably should have stuck with the brush though, so that I could have a more precise application and technique. But I'll be getting impatient sometimes because I'm so excited to see how this is going to turn out. So what you're going to do is you're going to rub your fingers. You're going to rub into the color Rose Gold on your beauty palette. And you're just going to tap the pigment on there. You're going to tap, 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 tap. Some people use this wet, some people use it dry. I decided to use the actual product dry and just adhere it to the glue. So once you have this eye done, you're going to go ahead and do your second eye once it's to your liking. My little pudgy fingers didn't get all the way in the corner, so I just used that same brush that I used for concealer earlier just to apply some more glue so that I could apply the color. I do feel like if I went too high with this that it would have a problem with being in my crease, but you know, make it work. Like I said, who cares? It's makeup. You can't go wrong. So what we're going to do is going to take that tapered blending brush and you're going to take Man Eater mixed in with a little bit of cocoa, and you're just going to go over the top so that you can have a gradient look to your eyeshadow, so it doesn't look like you just stuck it there and went out the house. That'll do. So it's easier to add to shadow than it is to take away. So build up. So next what we're going to do is we're going to work on liner, and I'm just going to take some Scotch tape, and the reason why I'm applying it to my wrist first is that way it's not as tacky once I apply it to my eye. That way it doesn't tug at the skin. Under eye skin is just so doggone fragile. I wish I would have known that back when I was younger, because Lord, that's why I got this line across my nose. I would just wake up every morning and just cat every morning thanks to allergies. So you're going to go ahead and place the tape at the angle that you want, and this will help sharpen up your cat eye. Also, some people put their eyeshadow on with tape applied already to give them a sharper look on their eyeshadows. The eyeliner I'm using is the NYX eyeliner, and it is called NYX Professional Makeup Epic Ink Liner in Black Noir. Now, I'm not a pro at cat eyes. I promise you I'm gonna do some more work this weekend. So go ahead and remove your tape. You may have a little bit of spillage underneath, but that's fine. We're gonna correct that later, no biggie. And repeat on both sides. Once you're pleased, go ahead and remove your tape. Ooh, that liner tried it. That's okay, no biggie. We're gonna fix that anyway. So to fix that, what you're going to do is you're going to take a angled brush and you're going to add some of your concealer. Your flesh tone concealer will be just fine. Or any color, honestly, because we are going to color correct when we do our face, and we are going to add foundation still. So that's fine. What you're going to do is you're just going to swipe wherever you want to erase. But do make sure that the liner is dry. Don't make sure the liner is dry, you're going to be mad because it's going to drag and then it's going to look like you've been crying. We're going to go ahead and apply our facial primer. We're using the e.l.f. Hydrating Facial Primer. It's maybe like $4. We're going to put it on now so it has time to set, and this will help smooth any fine lines, clog and close our pores. Sorry, fill in our pores, so that way when we apply our foundation it's nice and smooth. While that's setting, we're going to apply our mascara. It's going to be the Colossal Big Shot Volume Express mascara, and the color is, I believe, Black is Black. So I applied my lashes off camera. Now we're going to go ahead and use our LA Girl Pro Conceal. And what this is going to do, this is going to help counteract any dark circles, dark marks, or anything that we have so that they do not shine through when we put on our foundation. This will also help you to keep from having to apply too much foundation. So after you apply it, you're going to go ahead and blend it in. You only need a little bit of this product. You only need it for the color, not for the amount. So try to use as least amount as possible. So yeah, just make sure it's blended in. Take your sponge or whatever you're using to make sure you have a flawless application. I'm just going to go ahead and dot that in. Next, we're going to be applying foundation, and I'm going to use the ESTEE Lauder Double Wear Foundation in the shade Amber Honey. This is also a first impressions view of this product. I've never used it prior to today, and I must say I love it. So if you're going to have a long day where you have to be snatched and beat, I definitely recommend this product. My skin is oily to combination. When I first put it on, it did grab a couple little of the dry areas, but after a while it kind of just melded into my skin. So when you're putting on foundation, any foundation, you'll always put the most in the front and blend out to the outer edges. But since I was doing a full beat today, we're just gonna go make sure every nook and cranny has foundation. And I'm using a Real Technique sponge. I do use the Beauty Blender sponge. I just cannot locate her right now, which means my teenager has her somewhere in her stash. After using the sponge, I went and used a brush to kind of push in those pores. Like, if you push foundation into the pore, and because I have the primer on, it's okay because it's not technically getting into the pore where it's going to cause me any irritation. But this is just to fill in those little teeny tiny potholes, so that way when you take photos and they look at you, your skin is nice and smooth. And then because I don't like a shine, I'm just going to take my sponge and remove some of the excess shine. Next, you're going to go and take your Tarte Shape Tape and you're going to highlight and contour. Or if you're not going for a full glam look and that's not your preference, you can just use this to conceal any of those dark circles under your eyes. That way you can't see them. So I'm going to highlight under my eyes, my nose, my forehead, because my nose is rounded. I'm trying to bring a little more shape and dimension to my nose. So how this works is you bring forward with the highlight anything that you want to see, and then you use a contour, the darker products, to push back to make shade for anything that you don't want to be in the forefront of your look. What I like to do is to allow the Tarte Shape Tape to sit and set, because I do have under eye wrinkles and just ever so slightly, and I do have some dry skin. What I like to do is I like to let it sit for a second before adding setting powder, so that way it'll really saturate into the skin. Because if I was to let this go and put the powder on top of the concealer right away, when my eyes where I have the lines at, once I let that skin go, they're going to overlap on the product, the concealer, and if I was to try to put powder over top of that, I'm locking in product that's not smoothed out, which gives you those creasy lines, which is not cute at all. So the powder that I put under here is the SASHA Buttercup powder. You'll see it again later on. And this is a setting powder, has a yellow tone to it. So even though I'm looking a little multicolorish right now, don't worry about it. We're going to fix that later. And it does go away. So right now I'm using the NYX Contour Kit in the darkest shade. And this is just going to add a little dimension to my nose. And it does blend out pretty easy. I have not set my forehead, my nose, lip, or chin yet with the powder, because I'm still going to use a cream contour on it, and you don't want to set with powder and then put something creamy on top. That just doesn't, that's not the business. So you see how it slimmed out and elongated my nose a little bit. So also remember, anything that you highlight with a liquid or contour with a liquid or a cream, you're going to set it with a powder. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in 40. And this will help set your cream contour so that it doesn't move. And when you're contouring your nose, you want to make sure to take that line up through to your eyeshadow. You don't just want to leave it, because it helps create a shadow to change the shape of your nose. Next, we're going to go ahead and contour that 5 head that I have. It's okay. I've adapted to her through the years. As a child, we did not get along, but now I just kind of embraced her. That just comes with age. So back to that NYX concealer kit, take the darkest shade, and what you're going to do is you're going to pretty much do a 3 on the outer perimeters of your face. So from your forehead to your cheek down. Normally if I was doing an extra bead, I will also do the very bottom, but I'm just going to do that part with powder later. And then the top of my forehead. So as we can see, I've already made an oopsie and gone down just a bit too far with the contour to shorten my forehead, but that's easily fixable. So once you've applied your contour and you look like a Halloween costume, you're going to go ahead and blend that out with whatever technique. Some people, I know, right? No. Some people use a brush, some people use a sponge. I'm in between. I like to apply with a brush and blend out with a sponge. Just take a little bit of your concealer and take it up and put it back on. You don't have to reapply over the whole area like me, but you could have just put it right where you needed it, blend it out. Now you're going to go ahead and set everything. That was the SASHA Buttercup powder, and you're just going to put it in, and this will help with creasing. Like as you can see, as I'm applying, I have lines, but this will help keep your products from settling in your lines, and it also helps to give you like a little airbrush look. So perimeter, we're back with the Fit Me in Deep. We're just going to go ahead and apply that around the perimeter or anywhere that we put the cream contour. Contouring helps to slim your face or whatever reason that you're using it, and that's what I use it for. Next, I'm going to use a brow gel from my local beauty store by Kiss, and I'm just going to go ahead and set my eyebrows. I normally wait to the end for this particular part simply because my brows and the powder, it changes the color of your brows and all that good stuff. Fenty Beauty, yes, hey! So this color is the Fenty Beauty by Rihanna, and this color is Hustla Baby. And you're going to apply that to the high points of your face. You can't tell here, but she's gleaming. She's gleaming. Also down the bridge of your nose. I'm just going to use this brush to kind of soften out the edges and add it on the high points of my brow. Next, I'm going to take my Urban Decay 24-hour pencil in Perversion, and I'm going to line my waterline at the bottom. Got me a little teary-eyed. Next, we're going to add the colors that we had in our eyeshadow onto our lower lid to smoke out our lower lid. This is totally optional. I like my eyes to be smoked out. I'm sorry. Oh, and my lashes are Ardell lashes. You can get them from Sally's, any beauty store. I believe these are the Demi Wispies. I'm taking the same colors: Man Eater, Bossy, Cocoa Flamingo, and Henna. You can take that as low as you like to take it out. It's totally up to you. And I'm applying my mascara as well. Yes, honey, she's smoked out. Next is the lips. We're going to use Bittersweet from MAC. My lips have dried out just a little bit from the powder falling. You're gonna go ahead and line your lips. I do slightly overdraw my lips. I don't always use a liner, but when I do that because my top lip's small. The liquid lipstick we're using is by Kat Von D in the color Lolita. You're gonna rub it together before she dries so that you can blend in the bittersweet with Lolita. Next, you're going to take the NARS lip gloss and you're going to apply that to the center of your lips. That name will be in the description box. And you're just going to apply it to your liking. Then you're going to set your makeup with the all-nighter spray so that you can have this flawless look for hours and so it can remove that powdery look from your face. Let it dry and you're good to go. Bye.
Hey, if you like this tutorial, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe and be part of the notification squad. Hit that bell somewhere down here in the description box. You'll see it. Talk to you soon.